I want you to take a moment and think about all the things you've chased in life. Whether it's a job, a relationship, approval, or success, what did you feel when you were chasing it? Was it peace or was it stress? Were you standing in your power or were you reaching outside of yourself for something that maybe wasn't meant for you at that moment? Think about that for a second. Let it sink in. You don't have to exhaust yourself running, scrambling, and striving for what's meant to be yours. When something is destined for you, it will find its way into your life, not because you chased it down, but because you were ready for it. Too often in life, we find ourselves in this endless cycle of pursuit, always feeling like we're one step behind the things we want most. We chase relationships that don't fulfill us, careers that drain us, and approval from people who don't even see us. Why? Because somewhere along the line, we were taught that effort and hustle are the only ways to achieve. Now, don't get me wrong, effort is important. Hard work is necessary. But the kind of effort I'm talking about is different. It's that desperate, clawing energy that tells the universe, I'm not enough as I am. I need this thing, this person, this title to complete me, but the truth is, when you approach life that way, you're always going to be chasing. You're always going to feel like you're just out of reach, running after something that slips through your fingers like sand. See, what's for you will come. But you have to be the type of person who's ready for it when it arrives. Let me break this down for you. If you're constantly chasing, you're telling yourself and the world that you're not enough without whatever you're after. But when you know your worth, when you understand that you're whole and complete on your own, the game changes. You start attracting instead of chasing. You stop moving from a place of lack and start moving from a place of abundance. You stop telling yourself that you need to run after things, and instead, you start preparing yourself for what's already coming your way. And here's the key, it's not about sitting back and doing nothing. You're not just waiting for life to happen. You're putting in the work. But the work you're putting in is on you. It's on your mindset, your energy, your vision. It's on becoming the kind of person who naturally draws the right things into their life. You don't chase a relationship, you attract one by becoming someone who is whole, who is grounded, who knows what they deserve. You don't chase success, you attract it by becoming excellent at what you do, by constantly improving, by showing up every day with integrity, passion, and commitment. And the most beautiful part of this? When you stop chasing, you make space for the things that are truly meant for you to come in. Because when you're in a state of chasing, your energy is frantic. It's like holding water in your hands. No matter how tightly you grip, it keeps slipping away. But when you open your hands, when you relax into the flow of life, what's meant for you will naturally fill that space. You don't have to force it. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to wear yourself down to the bone trying to prove you're worthy. You are worthy right now, as you are. And when you move through the world with that understanding, the things you're meant to have, the relationships, the opportunities, the success, they start moving toward you. And let me tell you this, there is nothing more powerful than a person who knows their worth, who knows they don't need to chase, because what's theirs will find them. That kind of energy is magnetic. That kind of energy can change your life. Now, some of you might be thinking, but if I don't chase, how do I know I'll get what I want? The answer is simple: faith and preparation. Faith that what's meant for you will not pass you by. And preparation so that when it comes, you're ready to receive it. If you spend all your time chasing, you're too busy to do the real work on yourself. But when you stop chasing, you free up your energy to focus on growth, learning, healing, on becoming the best version of yourself. So when that opportunity shows up, when that relationship walks into your life, when that door opens, you're not only ready, you're deserving. You're not caught off guard because you didn't chase it down. You've been preparing all along. You don't have to chase what belongs to you because it was always meant to be yours. Trust that. Trust yourself. Trust the process. So stop chasing. Start attracting. Because everything you're running after is already looking for you too. When you stop running after the world, something incredible happens. You start giving the world a chance to catch up with you. See, when you're always chasing, always moving at a frantic pace, trying to grab hold of what you think you need, you miss the opportunity to truly see and experience what's already within you, around you, and waiting for you. I want you to pause for a moment and think about how much of your life is spent running. Running after success, running after recognition, running after validation. We've all been conditioned to believe that if we just work harder, move faster, and push ourselves more, we'll eventually reach that place where everything falls into place. But here's the truth: constantly running keeps you in a state of pursuit, not fulfillment. It creates a mindset of scarcity, where you believe that if you don't keep moving, life will pass you by. But I'm here to tell you, when you stop running after the world starts to move toward you. Think about it like this: when you're chasing something, you're telling yourself that it's out of your reach, that it's distant, unattainable. But when you stand still, confident, rooted in your value, you allow life to align with your energy. You're no longer in a frantic state of lack, but in a calm state of abundance. You shift from thinking, "I need to get there," to "I'm already here and I'm enough." That shift is powerful. It's the moment where everything starts to change. Here's the thing: the world will always tell you to keep running. It will tell you that you need more money, more recognition, more accomplishments to be happy. But the world is wrong. Happiness doesn't come from running faster or achieving more. It comes from knowing who you are and standing firmly in that truth. It comes from realizing that you don't have to prove yourself to anyone, because your worth isn't up for debate. When you stop running after the world, you find peace. Peace in knowing that what's meant for you will find you when the time is right. Peace in trusting that you don't need to force or chase anything, because the universe is working in your favor, even when you can't see it. Peace in understanding that your journey is yours alone, and no one else's path or timeline has any bearing on your destiny. You start to move with purpose rather than desperation. You begin to understand that slowing down doesn't mean you're falling behind. It means you're giving yourself time to reflect, to grow, and to prepare for the blessings that are coming your way. You realize that life isn't about the destination, but about the journey, and the journey becomes a lot more enjoyable when you stop running and start living. So stop running after the world. Stop thinking that happiness and success are somewhere out there waiting for you at the end of a long chase. They're not. They're here right now within you. When you stop running, you give yourself the space to recognize that everything you've been chasing is already on its way to you. You just have to be still enough, patient enough, and confident enough to let it arrive. It's not about how fast you run or how far you go. It's about who you become in the process. And when you stop running after the world, you give yourself the freedom to become everything you were meant to be. The moment you realize your worth, everything changes. It's like a light switch flips on inside of you, and suddenly you see the world and yourself through a completely different lens. You stop settling for less than you deserve. You stop accepting crumbs when you deserve the whole feast. And you stop looking for validation from others because you found it within yourself. When you finally understand your value, the way you carry yourself shifts. You walk taller, speak clearer, and move with intention. There's a calm, quiet confidence that starts to flow through you, not the kind that demands attention or approval, but the kind that radiates from knowing deep down that you are enough. Now, let me be clear: realizing your worth doesn't mean you think you're better than anyone else. It's not about arrogance or superiority. It's about knowing that you have something to offer, and that what you bring to the table is unique, valuable, and irreplaceable. It's about recognizing that your presence is a gift, and that you don't have to shrink, bend, or break yourself to fit into places or relationships that don't honor that gift. See, too many of us go through life unaware of our worth. We compromise on things we shouldn't. We stay in situations that drain us, in jobs that don't appreciate us, in relationships that don't uplift us, because we think that's all we deserve. We think if we just try harder, if we just do more, maybe we'll finally get the recognition we've been seeking. But I'm here to tell you the moment you realize your worth, you'll stop chasing after people, places, and things that were never meant for you. You'll understand that you don't need to beg for someone's attention, love, or approval. You don't have to jump through hoops to prove yourself, because the right people, the ones who truly see you, will recognize your value without you having to perform. And the wrong people, they'll fall away. Not because you pushed them out, but because they won't know how to handle the version of you that stands in your power. Realizing your worth also means setting boundaries, and that can be uncomfortable, especially when you've spent most of your life saying yes when you wanted to say no, or bending over backward to keep the peace. But boundaries aren't about keeping people out, they're about honoring yourself. They're about saying, I respect myself too much to allow disrespect or disregard into my space. And when you start setting those boundaries, you send a message not just to others, but to yourself that you are deserving of love, respect, and kindness. The moment you realize your worth, you stop settling for relationships that drain you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. You start attracting people who celebrate your presence, who uplift you, and who see the best in you because they recognize the best in themselves too. You stop being available for one-sided love, toxic friendships, or environments that keep you small. You begin to understand that you are worthy of a life filled with love, connection, and joy. But perhaps most importantly, when you realize your worth, you step into your purpose. You stop playing small, stop hiding your gifts, and stop being afraid of shining too brightly. You recognize that your light was meant to shine not just for you, but for the people who need to see it. You understand that your unique talents, skills, and perspectives are valuable, and that you were put on this earth for a reason. So the moment you realize your worth, life becomes less about proving yourself and more about being yourself. It becomes less about seeking acceptance from others and more about accepting yourself fully. And when you do that, the world opens up to you in ways you never thought possible. So don't wait another moment. Realize your worth. Stand in it. Own it. And watch as the world begins to honor you in ways you never imagined. True power comes not from chasing success, but from becoming the kind of person success can't help but follow. See, we've been taught our whole lives that in order to succeed, we have to go after it with everything we've got, chase it down, work around the clock, fight for it like it's something we have to steal from the world. But here's the truth, chasing success will wear you out. It will burn you out and leave you feeling empty when you finally reach it, because you'll have spent so much time running after the goal that you never took the time to become the kind of person who can truly enjoy the rewards that come with it. Success doesn't need to be hunted down, it needs to be attracted. And how do you attract success? You become the kind of person that success naturally flows to. You focus on who you are, not just what you do. You focus on your character, your values, your mindset. You focus on mastery, not just of your craft, but of yourself. When you stop chasing success and start focusing on becoming your best self, everything changes. Because success isn't about the destination, it's about who you become on the way there. And the moment you shift from chasing to attracting, you step into a different kind of power, a power that doesn't need to be forced or manipulated, but one that is grounded, steady, and undeniable. Here's the thing, chasing success implies that it's something outside of you, something you don't yet have. But the moment you realize that true success starts from within, you stop the chase. You understand that success is a byproduct of living in alignment with your purpose, your passion, and your gifts. It's not something you need to run after, it's something that comes to you when you live authentically, work with intention, and walk in your truth. The people who attract success aren't the ones who are constantly hustling, grinding, and chasing. They're the ones who have mastered themselves. They're the ones who know who they are, who have a vision for their life, and who are dedicated to growing every single day. They're the ones who are focused on creating value, on lifting others up, and on staying true to their principles, even when the world tells them to compromise. These are the people success can't help but find because they become a magnet for it. When you're chasing success, you're always looking for the next opportunity, the next achievement, the next win. But when you focus on becoming the kind of person success follows, you understand that the opportunities will come to you. You don't have to force doors open because you've built the kind of reputation, the kind of skill set, and the kind of character that naturally opens doors. And when those doors open, you're ready not just to walk through them, but to thrive on the other side. But how do you become this kind of person? How do you stop chasing and start attracting? First, you have to shift your mindset. Stop thinking of success as something you achieve and start thinking of it as something you embody. Success is not about the title you hold, the money you make, or the recognition you receive. It's about living in alignment with your values, your purpose, and your passion. It's about showing up every day as the best version of yourself, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you know that's who you were created to be. Next, you have to commit to the process of growth. Success isn't a one-time event, it's the result of consistent effort over time. And that effort isn't just about working hard, it's about working on yourself. It's about developing your skills, expanding your knowledge, and most importantly, refining your character. The more you grow, the more you attract. The more you invest in becoming the best version of yourself, the more the world will want to invest in you. But this isn't just about you. True power comes when you use your success to lift others. The most successful people aren't just focused on their own climb, they're looking for ways to bring others with them. They understand that success is not a solo journey, and that the more they give, the more they receive. When you stop chasing success for your own sake and start thinking about how you can use your gifts to impact others, success will follow you wherever you go. Talk about patience. Chasing success can make you anxious, always in a rush to get to the next level. But when you're focused on becoming the kind of person success follows, you understand that the process takes time. You trust the timing of your journey because you know that what's meant for you will not pass you by. Patience isn't about waiting idly, it's about working diligently while trusting that your time will come. Lastly, you have to let go of the fear of failure. Chasing success can make you afraid of falling short, afraid of making mistakes. But when you're focused on attracting success, you embrace failure as part of the journey. You understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback, that every mistake is a lesson that makes you stronger, wiser, and more capable. You stop running from failure and start welcoming it as a teacher. When you become the kind of person success can't help but follow, you stop living in a constant state of anxiety, always wondering if you're doing enough, being enough, achieving enough. Instead, you live in a state of peace, knowing that the success you seek is already seeking you. You stop chasing and you start being. And when you do that, success doesn't just knock on your door, it walks in and stays. So stop chasing success. Start focusing on becoming the person you were meant to be. Because the real power, it doesn't come from running after success, it comes from knowing that success will always follow you when you are in alignment with your true self. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Sounds simple, right? But the truth is, it's one of the most profound and powerful things you can do in your life. We live in a world that constantly tells us to chase after external validation, better job titles, higher paychecks, more likes, more attention. But real fulfillment, real success, doesn't come from chasing what's outside of you. It comes from the work you do within yourself. The journey to becoming the best version of yourself isn't about perfection. It's about growth. It's about looking in the mirror and asking, how can I show up better today than I did yesterday? It's about being committed to the process of self-improvement, not because you want the world to see it, but because you want to feel it. It's about aligning with your values, your purpose, and your potential. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, everything else in your life begins to shift. You attract better opportunities, build stronger relationships, and most importantly, you find a sense of peace that can only come from living in alignment with your true self. Now, let's be real, this journey is not easy. It's not a one-time decision where you wake up one day and everything is perfect. It's a daily commitment, a daily grind, It means taking a hard look at yourself and acknowledging where you fall short. It means recognizing your weaknesses, your fears, and your insecurities, not to dwell on them, but to address them, to work through them, and to grow beyond them. Becoming the best version of yourself starts with mindset. You have to believe that you are capable of more. You have to believe that you are worthy of the life you want. Too often, we let limiting beliefs hold us back. We tell ourselves we're not smart enough, not talented enough, not experienced enough to achieve our dreams. But here's the thing: you don't have to be perfect to start. You just have to be willing to take the first step. And once you shift your mindset, the next step is taking action. You can't just think about becoming the best version of yourself, you have to work at it. You have to be intentional about your habits, your choices, and your actions every single day. Success doesn't come from wishful thinking, it comes from consistent effort. It's about creating a routine that supports your growth. It's about surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to be better, who hold you accountable, and who push you to reach your full potential. Here's something you need to remember: the best version of yourself isn't about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Too often, we get caught up in comparing ourselves to others. We look at other people's success, their achievements, and we start to feel like we're falling behind. But comparison is the thief of joy. It takes your focus away from your own journey and distracts you with someone else's path. Your journey is unique. Your story is yours alone. So don't waste your energy comparing your progress to someone else's. Instead, focus on what you can control. Focus on the areas of your life where you can improve your mindset, your skills, your health, your relationships. Set your own goals and measure your progress against yourself, not against anyone else. Lastly, never stop learning. The best version of yourself is a lifelong student. They're always curious, always hungry for knowledge. They never settle because they know that there's always more to learn, more to explore, and more to achieve. Whether it's through books, mentors, or experiences, keep investing in your growth. The more you learn, the more you grow. The more you grow, the closer you get to becoming the person you were meant to be. And here's the thing: when you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, everything else falls into place. The success, the relationships, the happiness, they all follow when you're living in alignment with your highest self. You won't have to chase after success because you'll be attracting it naturally. You won't have to search for happiness because you'll find it within yourself. So, focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not for anyone else, but for you. Do it because you owe it to yourself to live a life that's fulfilling, a life that's meaningful, a life that's true to who you are. And when you become that person, when you step into your full power, the world will take notice. Doors will open. Opportunities will present themselves. And most importantly, you'll look in the mirror and be proud of the person you've become. Life is not about chasing after what you don't have. It's about appreciating what you do and becoming the person who attracts even more of what you deserve. Too often, we're conditioned to believe that we have to run ourselves into the ground to achieve success, happiness, or fulfillment. We're taught that life is a race, and we have to constantly strive, struggle, and hustle to get ahead. But here's the truth: life isn't about constantly chasing after something that's always out of reach. It's about living right here and now, fully in the present, and growing into the person you're meant to be. When you spend all your time chasing, you lose sight of the most important thing: yourself. You focus so much on the destination that you forget to enjoy the journey. You end up placing your happiness and peace in the future, always telling yourself, "I'll be happy when I get this job," or "I'll be satisfied when I have more money," or "I'll feel complete when I meet the right person." But what happens when you finally get those things? If you're always chasing, the goalposts will just keep moving. You'll never feel like you have enough because the moment you reach one goal, you'll start chasing another. It becomes a never-ending cycle. When you shift your focus from chasing to becoming, everything changes. You start to see life differently. You stop measuring your success by external standards, by how much money you have, what car you drive, or what status you hold. Instead, you start measuring success by your personal growth, your peace of mind, your relationships, and the joy you feel from within. That's real wealth. That's true success. Here's something powerful. The more you appreciate what you have, the more you attract what you desire. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the world. When you're constantly focused on what you lack, you operate from a place of scarcity, which creates more lack in your life. But when you focus on what you have, your health, your talents, your loved ones, you operate from a place of abundance. And that abundance grows. It's a mindset shift that changes everything. So let go of the chase. Focus on becoming, not doing. Focus on aligning with your values, your purpose, and your joy. Appreciate what you already have and trust that more is on its way. When you do that, you'll find that life flows more smoothly. You'll start attracting the things you desire, not because you're chasing them, but because you've become the kind of person who naturally draws them in. And when you look back, you'll realize that the real joy was never in the destination. It was in the journey of becoming the person you were always meant to be.